Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Fitchburg High School in the Doug Rutschfield Fieldhouse for tonight's District 3 Pod 6 basketball matchup featuring the visiting Panthers from Quabbin Regional High School and our own Fitchburg High School Red Raiders. On behalf of the Fitchburg Public Schools, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank FATV for the continued support of Fitchburg athletics by offering live coverage of all of our winter matchups broadcasted live into the homes of our Red Raider community, both local and abroad. And now for tonight's starting lineups, beginning with the visiting Panthers from Quabbin Regional High School. First up for the Panthers, we have a sophomore wearing number 5, Olivia Rose. Next up, we have a senior wearing number 13, Casey McCready. Next up, we have a senior wearing number 22, Julia Hamill. A junior wearing number 35, Ashley Layton. And last but not least for the Panthers this evening, a junior wearing number 42, Jordan Gillen. The Panthers are led tonight by head coach Evan Barringer. And now, the starting lineups for our own Fitchburg High School Red Raiders. First up, a junior wearing number 11, Olivia Smith. Next up, we have a junior wearing number 12 this evening, Natasha Burrito. Next up, we have a sophomore wearing number 25, Jen Allen. And we have our senior Red Raider wearing number 33, Mia Cavins. And tonight, we have a sophomore with a uniform change wearing number 4, Tanila Council. The Red Raiders are led tonight by head coach Paul DiGeronimo. And at this time, I'd like to turn it over to Alan Toomley for a special announcement.
Fitchburg High School, the Red Raiders girls basketball team, and the entire Fitchburg High School community is saddened and heartbroken by the sudden passing of Hall of Famer Paula Goodchild-Gastingay, FHS class of 1990. Paula was an outstanding three-sport student athlete for the Red and Gray, playing field hockey, basketball, and softball. Paula was a key contributor for the 1989-1990 girls basketball team that won Fitchburg's first girls sectional title and advanced all the way to the state finals at the Worcester Central. In celebration of her efforts on the field, on the court, and in the classroom, Paula was inducted into the Fitchburg High School Athletic Hall of Fame twice. In 2003, she received singular honors, and in 2013 was re-inducted as part of the 1989-1990 Central Mass Championship basketball team. Paula attended Worcester State University after graduation and was recently the assistant women's basketball coach at Fitchburg State University. Paula also coached the unified basketball and track teams at Air Shirley Regional High School. Our thoughts and prayers go out to her entire family. Paula's number 24 jersey rests proudly on our bench tonight. To Greg, Ed, and Jeannie, Samantha, and John, thank you for sharing Paula with all of us. To Paula's extended family, her friends and teammates, on behalf of the entire Fitchburg High School Red Raider family, we extend our heartfelt condolences. We ask everyone in the field house and everyone watching from home at this time to join us in a moment of silence, followed by the national anthem. Thank you.
It's at this time that I would ask everyone in attendance, if you're not already on your feet, to please stand and remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Tonight's game officials are Jennifer Blancone, Rico Sanchez, and Brian Berry. Once again, on behalf of the extended FHS community, I'd like to welcome you all into tonight's broadcast. Enjoy the game.
Now just moments away from tip-off here. Well, actually no tip-offs here in basketball this season, but moments away from getting underway here at the Crutchfield Fieldhouse at Fitchburg High School between the Fitchburg Red Raiders and the Quabbin Panthers. Daniel Bolak here with you, high above the court here at the Fieldhouse. Quabbin will start with the basketball in the road dark blue uniforms with gold numbers and some gray trim. They'll go right to left in this first half of play. Fitchburg High in the home white uniforms, red shorts and gold numbers. They'll go left to right here in the first half. Pass out to the right side corner, pass inside now. Thrown up, hanging on the rim, does not fall for Quabbin. As Ashley Layden making her presence known down low. Ball knocked out of bounds, last touch by the Red Raiders. Quabbin will have the inbound, and one of those rule changes this year in regards to COVID is normally that inbound would be from the baseline, instead from the sideline, and the three ball hit to open the scoring there by Jordan Gillard. Interestingly enough, Quabbin's game is not hitting three-point shots. They only averaged less than 3 three-pointers a game last season. It didn't average very many threes over their first game, I should say. They didn't make very many. I think only 2 threes they made in their first contest against Gardner. A game which they won quite handedly. Now a foul against the Red Raiders 33 seconds in. And the foul goes against Natasha Brito. First free throw is good for the Panthers. One more coming for Julia Hamill. Second one on the high arcing free throw is good. And just like that, a quick 5-0 lead before Fitchburg can even get a possession down court. Orford on the far side, long shot, rims in and out. Offensive rebound for the Red Raiders, thrown up by Allen, can't get that to fall. Battling for it down low. And it's going to be Red Raider ball. They'll inbound from the near side from Olivia Smith. 3 referee crew tonight. It's a bit of a luxury during the regular season. Normally you just see a 2 referee crew, but tonight we've got 3. Tenila Council try to move towards the paint. But a Panther called for a shove. That'll be Olivia Rose picking up her first foul of the contest. Smith for Allen, back for Olivia Smith on the right wing. Scrumming with Tenila Council. She's battling with Olivia Rose there. A couple of sophomores doing basketball battle, ultimately knocked out of bounds by Rose. Inbound coming from Smith, now for Council. Bounce pass in the paint, put up on the left side, that doesn't fall. They battle for the board, and ultimately taken away by Allen. Bounce for Quabbin's underneath, puts that up and in. First points of the game for the Red Raiders will go to Mia Quabbins. Make the score 5-2. About 90 seconds gone in the first quarter of play. Quabbin going to slow it down a little bit. Now moving around to the top for Rose, but a travel is called. Looking at the score now, I thought that Julie Hamill made both of her free throws down low a couple minutes ago, but and I was not wrong. They actually were correcting the score there. It said 4-2 up there, but it was in fact 5-2. I was wondering if my eyes were deceiving me or if I just wasn't paying 100% attention, but no, had it right that time. Shot taken from the right side for Smith, and that one falls. Raiders will cut into that deficit a little bit. 5-4 the score now. So we approach 2 minutes gone in the first quarter. 4 8-minute quarters in MIAA play. That hasn't changed. As the pass inside, out of the reach of Casey McCready, one of 2 captains and one of 2 seniors on this Quabbin side. Julia Hamill, the other one, in both categories. Natasha Brito comes off on the substitution. Ilka Negron will come in for her. Raiders struggling a little bit to keep control of the ball, but it's going to pinball out of bounds off of Quabbin fingertips. Be Red Raider basketball looking for their first lead of the contest. Quabbins with the bounce inside. Negron running the baseline, bounce pass. Hops on the rim, will not go for Jen Allen. McCready can't corral the basketball as it bounces on the baseline. We'll go back to the Red Raiders with 28 to work with. A little over 2 minutes gone. The Raiders trail 5-4. First 5 points for Quabbin. They follow back with the next 4. The high arcing shot there. Trying to hit a high off the backboard from Allen, but just can't get the bounce right. And Quabbin will bring it up. McCready having trouble with the pass inside, and Allen comes up with a steal on that. Long stretch pass, Negron fumbles it for a moment, now double teamed. After all that, we'll give it to the Red Raiders. Have that inbound from that near sideline, as all the inbounds will come. Annika Hecker comes into the game now for the Red Raiders. Right off the inbound, Tanila Council running the right side of the paint, throwing it up and in. Council's got her first points of the night. 6 in a row for the Red Raiders, and they have their first lead of the contest. Let's see what Quabbin can do. They haven't made a 2-point shot yet. A 3 and 2 free throws account for their scoring as McCready stripped of the basketball. Raiders will bring it up. Council, the top of the arc. Hecker, left side of the paint. Double teamed. Ball goes off a foot, now on the ground. It's going to be a tie-up, and the Raiders have the arrow. The teams will go to the benches for a break. 4:38 to go, first quarter. It's 6 for the Red Raiders and 5 for the Panthers. Fitchburg starting out the season 2-0, sweeping Oakmont in their season opening series, 51-44 here a week ago at the Crutchfield Fieldhouse, and then up in Ashburnham on the 14th. A great defensive effort by the Red Raiders held the Spartans to just 19 points, doubling up 38-19. Natasha Brito with 3 threes. led the charge. She had 9, and Isla Council had 6. Olivia Smith, Abby Stone, and Jen Allen each adding in 4. I'd love to say it's their best defensive performance in a while to hold a team to under 20, but in their season finale last year against Gardner, they held the Wildcats to 16 in that one. So it's actually the second time in 3 games, stretching back to last year, that the Red Raiders have held aside to under 20. For Quabbin, they are 1-0. You'd expect them to be 2-0, but they were only able to get 1 game in against Gardner last week. That was their Monday game at home in Barrie, and that was an easy win for the Panthers, winning that one by a score of 60-13. Julia Hamill with 12, Ashley Layton also 12, Olivia Rose and Casey McCready each adding 10, and Riley Bassett with 9, as they were able to get 11 of their 12 players into the contest. Battling for the basketball there, as getting tangled up there was Olivia Smith and Lauren Olson. Olson will be called for the foul there. Inbound here for Cavins. Throw it in for Tenila Council. Spinning around trying to find space, drop it off for Smith. Pinballs around, ends up in the hands of Julia Hamill. Bounce pass to the near side for Jordan Gillen. Gillen pass in the paint. Throwing that up there is the center there, Ashley Layton. That'll be the first 2 of the contest for Quabbin, and it restores their lead just at 7-6. So we approach halfway in this first quarter of play. Hecker in the paint. Now for Cavins. Here's Council on the right wing. Back in for Hecker. On the paint, throws it up. 2 Panthers challenging her. Wasn't able to get the shot she wanted. And so now Quabbin will try to carry it up. As Gillen with the pass to the near side for Hamill. That pass heavily contested by Raider Arms. The Raiders will win the ball and draw the foul. Be the second foul against Olivia Rose. Not helping matters there. A sophomore for the Quabbin side. Mostly populated with seniors. 6 of the 12 players on the squad are juniors, as I'm misspeaking. Driving to the rack there is Council, draws the contact. She'll earn free throws. As Ashley Layton will pick up her first foul of the contest. First free throw for Council, a bit short on that one. Council last year, 27 free throws, was 4th on the team. She's made 5 free throws thus far this season. They don't track the misses, just the makes here in Central Mass. Second free throw, got a little more distance, but the accuracy suffered as a result, and both free throws are missed. So it remains 7-6. 3 ball from the left side corner is good. It's out of the hands of Jordan Gillen, and just like that, she's doubled her scoring tally. Up to 10 on the night for Quabbin, up to 6 on the night for her. 2 chances down low, both going over the rim, a 3rd chance. Results in contact. It's going to be foul number 2 against Lauren Olson. And a shooting foul indicated. So Ilka Negron will have 2 free throws. The back iron's the first. Swap out a couple players. And you know Olsen has to go to the bench with the 2 fouls there. And we'll have a timeout on the court with 3:05 to go in the first quarter of play, as Quabbin has a 10-6 lead. So again, Quabbin dominant last week against Gardner, 60-13, quite the decisive victory. Quabbin probably the favorite to win this pod, as they were the only team in the pod of 6 to make it to the postseason last year. You look at the rest of the teams. Gardner went 3-16, Fitchburg 7-13, Oakmont was also 7-13, so was Leominster, Narragansett was 9-11. But Quabbin last year had a regular season record of 15 wins and 5 losses. That got them into the playoffs, where they drew the number 6 seed in Division II in Western Mass. Quabbin and Narragansett have been playing in Western Mass just because there are so many more teams in Eastern Mass, so some teams that we consider Central Mass get shoved into West, and some teams that we consider Eastern Mass get shoved into Central. And so that's something that Quabbin's had to be dealing with. Second free throw is no good. Looks like there was a lane violation as well, so wouldn't have counted had it gone anyway, but that's 4 free throws for the Red Raiders and 4 misses, and that's something they definitely want to be working on. Not improving in the game, then improving in practice. We'll see if that leads to the difference down the road, as traveling called against the Panthers. An unforced error gives the ball back to the Red Raiders. 2:54 to go in the first quarter. It's 10 for Quabbin, 6 for Fitchburg. Stegron will head back to the bench, and Brito will come back in. And Brito will have it now, between the circle and the arc. Council going to the right elbow, throws up the floater, turns into a pass, brought out by Cavins, tries a long 2 from the right side. Just a bit long on that. Rebound pulled in by Casey McCready. Quabbin will take their time bringing it up. Megan Doyle, the pass inside. McCready has the pass get away from her. Out of bounds it goes, back to the Red Raiders. It's been a rough first quarter for Casey McCready. Couple turnovers, couple of fumbled basketballs. Watch for her to improve as the game goes on. That's knocked into the backcourt by the Panthers, so no over and back. Council trying to drive there, but Megan Doyle getting in the way of that. That's something that head coach Evan Behringer can't be happy with, is the fact that that's foul number 6 against his side. That was their last foul to give, and there's still 10 minutes to go in the half. Red Raiders will have more opportunities at the charity stripe as this game progresses. Quabbin can't do anything in transition, and that's foul number 7 right there. That's Gillens' first foul. They were going to inbound, but of course, you don't expect 7 fouls that quickly. And so it's 1-and-1 time. Normally we see teams vacate the free throw line for the first free throw, but since this is a 1-and-1, the offensive board is available. So we see the teams at either side of the paint, 2 on each side. First one rattles a lot, but will fall. First point of the night for Natasha Brito, 1 more to be paid. Second one, nothing but net on that. So 10-8 the score with 1:50 to go in the first quarter. Doyle held it off. 3 ball is good for Quabbin. It's not typically their game, but they're making it work, mainly through Jordan Gillen. It's their 3rd triple of the night. You have to imagine they'll keep feeding the hot hands there. Jumper from the left side, no good. Rebound pulled out by the Red Raiders. They'll have another go. Allen underneath, throws that up. 3-4 hops underneath, but it will fall. Five different Red Raiders with 2 points, and 5 times 2 adds up to the 10 they're on. As they trail by 3, 13-10. Mainly through hot shooting by Jordan Gillen, 9 points from 3 triples. Travel will go against the Red Raiders there. So of course, when a player starts the game with 3 3-point shots, you look at their stats from last year and see how many threes they made. How prolific of a triple shooter was Jordan Gillen? Well, I can tell you she was second on the team last year in 3-pointers made. That number was 9. Also, Quabbin only made 2 threes last week against Gardner. Fitchburg pulling off another turnover and transition. Janila Council will match her number on points. She's on 4. The Red Raiders trail by just 1 and another steal. And numbers down court again. Just 1 back there for Quabbin. Trying to draw the contact was Council. No contact called there. She couldn't get the shot to fall either. Now transition 1-on-1 there with Ashley Layton trying to get around Jen Allen. Able to draw the contact there. Won't get the shot to fall, but Layton will earn 2 free throws. Just the second foul against the Red Raiders. As Ashley Layton, the junior center, hits the first free throw. Layton last season, 63 free throws made. First on the team by a large margin. Julie Hamill was second with 37. This Quabbin team, on average, making 11 free throws a game last season. Referee having some words with the Red Raider bench. They've cleared up whatever they needed to clear up. 1 more free throw to be paid to Layton. She'll try to stretch it out to a 3-point game. She'll do just that. 15-12. Quabbin in front. Under 15 to go in the frame. Raiders can hold for last shot. And try to take the 3 here. Just a bit too strong. That hit the stanchion. And when a ball hits the stanchion, that kills the play. So that's out of bounds. Raiders going to try to swarm to force a turnover. They do just that. Council, right elbow at the buzzer offline. Didn't have much time to set and shoot, though. She could see the clock. Up and above to the left of the basket and knew wasn't a lot of time to shoot. Tried to get something off, but ultimately a bit offline. But still, that's good defense on the Red Raiders. Not just acquiescing to Quabbin taking the basketball down court and letting them have a shot at last shot. Just taking away and creating their own opportunities, even if the shot didn't fall there. So through 1 quarter of play, it's Fitchburg 12 and Quabbin 15. An interesting first quarter, to say the least, as we'll bring in Frank Gallo here. How are you doing, Frank?
I'm doing great. I was just on the camera for the first quarter, but now I'm right here. We had some technical difficulties. I needed to handle that.
Yep. Well, we've gotten that squared away. So 1 quarter of play. Fitchburg hanging right in it with Quabbin, 15-12. Any observations through the camera lens?
I did notice that it's a very, very, very tight game. Again, 15-12, but definitely more fouls on the Quabbin end. A very, very, very strong game. Very, very tough on the Quabbin side.
Yeah, it's been a challenge for Quabbin, just trying to play relentlessly as they have been, but they've been dinged for quite a few infractions. And that's going to be a big boost for the Red Raiders, the fact that they're going to be playing this entire second quarter in the bonus. Makes things a whole lot easier. We'll go over the scoring leaders for the 2 teams. And Ashley Layton, she's got 4 for Quabbin. Julia Hamill's got 2. Those came at the charity stripe. Jordan Gillen, though, was the story. 3 3-pointers made. She's on 9 points.
Yeah, it really definitely seems that she's on fire, but the Red Raiders definitely a lot more evenly dispersed this game than last game. Last game, if you remember, it was almost all of the points were scored by just Cabins and Council, but now we see points from a number of different players.
Better distributed by the Red Raiders this time. Council leads with 4. Everybody else has got 2 for the Raiders. That's Smith with 2, Brito with 2, Allen with 2, and Cabins with 2. Also of note, Fitchburg has yet to hit a 3-point shot. They haven't really been trying too many of them, while Quabbin, they haven't been trying a whole lot of them either, but they've been making them mostly through Gillen. I mentioned that this Quabbin team last year, in the 19 games that were tracked by the TNG, they made 53 threes. That averages to just less than 3 a game. And from my count, they only made 2 threes in their last contest against Gardner. So the impression I got coming into today is three-point shooting, not quite their game, but they'll let the offense flow through Gillen and her three-point escapades. As long as she's got the hot hands. As that first possession for Quabbin ends in a turnover, that pass finds the foot of Riley Bassett. Ricochets off her foot into the hands of the Red Raiders. They'll try a 3 here.
It seems they can't make the 3. Again, they have not really been scoring too many 3s, but it seems that they're trying to ramp up that three-point shooting machine.
And you can see too, just the, credit for Tenila Council there, nearly came away with the steal there. Ultimately trying to scoop the ball, save it from going out of bounds, ultimately threw it into her own bench, but great effort for trying there. Quabbin on the near side, and Madison LaRue. That bounce pass inside struck a foot. And so the kickball will go back to the Panthers, and they'll reset the shot clock with it over 15 seconds, so it'll reset to 30 on that, as Olivia Rose will come back into the game. Had to sit out for a little bit as she was on 2 fouls, and she immediately throws it into the hands of Olivia Smith, and that's been a challenge for Quabbin, is they cannot find any presence inside the paint because the Raiders' sea of hands just take it away. 3-ball attempt there, does not catch very much for the Red Raiders, and Quabbin more than content to let that one bounce out of bounds.
Yeah, and you need to remember, Quabbin had 30 less free 3-points last season than Fitchburg High School. So Fitchburg High School is the significant leader in the 3-points last season. So it seems that Quabbin has really been practicing that over the offseason since we last saw them.
Thrown up there by Layden. She was hoping she drew contact, but she took an extra step before she threw it up. The travel will concede the ball back to the Red Raiders. 6:35 to go in the first half. 15-12 in favor of Quabbin, looking for our first points in the frame. A scramble for the ball in the paint. The tie-up will favor the Red Raiders. They have the arrow. Have another inbound here from the near side from Olivia Smith. Council was the recipient. She ends up getting the ball after battling with Rose. May not have been going at 100% tenacity, maybe 85%. After all, she knows in the back of her mind she's on 2 fouls. Now working in the paint, drawing contact were the Red Raiders. It's going to be more free throws coming. Layden will be called for her second.
Brito is taking the throw. She hits the first.
I was waiting so long to say who was at the charity stripe because I just try to look at the numbers and sometimes they're just not coming to me.
Yeah, number 12, Natasha Brito, is currently at the charity stripe. Last season, she hit 0 free throws, and I wonder if that's related to something like
she only played in 2 games.
Yeah.
So didn't have that many opportunities to attempt the free throws. Is 3 of 4 at the line tonight. Score 15-13 now. Have another tie up here, and Quabbin will have the ball on the arrow. Sometimes the number's a bit challenging to read from this distance.
Yeah, especially because they're very, very faint. They're silver on white, which is not the greatest of contrast. Definitely the Quabbin charts are slightly easier to read. But then again, we don't know the names of the Quabbin players as well as we know the names of our own Fitchburg High School Red Raiders.
And I've had a game to practice understanding the appearances of the Red Raiders, getting me up to speed. Traveling called against Quabbin, and we'll have a timeout here with 5:52 to go in the first half of play. It's Fitchburg 13 and Quabbin 15. Just that free throw from Brito, the only point thus far in this second quarter of play. So during the last time out, I was talking to myself, but I'll bring you back into this conversation,
now
Frank.
you have an actual conversation now.
All right, so I mentioned last year Quabbin was the only team in this pod to make it to the postseason. They were in West Division 2. They were the number 6 seed in West 2, and their reward was to play number 3 Taconic in the quarterfinals, where they lost 49-27. Now, I have a little challenging riddle for you, Frank.
Yes, a riddle right here.
Where is Taconic?
I have no idea. I was wondering the same thing. Where the heck is Taconic? I'd imagine it's somewhere out in Western Mass.
It is indeed in Western Mass. How far west are you willing to go?
It's in Adams, right? It's in North Adams.
I think you've got the westernness nailed down, but it's the middle one in Berkshire County. It's Pittsfield.
Pittsfield. Is Pittsfield team in the Quabbin division?
And see, they're not in the same division,
No.
but they are. They are in the same division, West Division 2.
Yeah, they're in West Division 2. But yes, they did go past the season, and that's quite a haul from Pittsfield.
They have to travel probably 2 hours from Barrie to get to Pittsfield to play the Braves there. That's Taconic High School, the trade school of Pittsfield. And Taconic was very good last year. In fact, they ended up being co-state champions with Foxborough High School. That's how good Taconic was, so no shame in losing to a state finalist.
It seems that Brito's back up at the charity stripe. Fitchburg High School, the Raiders, are really trying to put her out there, getting her some free throws this season. How do you feel about this, Dan?
Well, first off, I think that's Olivia Smith, actually.
It's Olivia Smith, sorry.
And you fell for the same trap I did.
Can't see the numbers. There's a 1 in the front.
Yep, as it goes. 1 of 2, Smith goes to the line. Got the deficit to just 1 now. 15-14, Quabbin in search of their first points of the second quarter. And on the right side, looking around is Julia Hamill. Pass inside for McCready, double teamed. Trying to move it to the left side. Trying so hard not to travel there was Lauren Olson, was able to keep it alive. 2 on the shot clock, desperation 3. That will not go, and it's a shot clock violation as it only tickles the bottom of the twine, doesn't touch the rim, but that was a desperation shot by Olson. I don't think they were fully aware of how much time was left of the shot clock. So another chance for the Red Raiders to take the lead. No field goals for either side in this second quarter. That will change right now for Jen Allen.
Seems like a really tight shot for Jen Allen there. Almost a desperation shot, but it seemed like she knew exactly what she was doing, and it did fall. So I guess all's well that ends well.
About a 10-5 run for the Raiders going back to the first quarter.
And of course they take the lead, 16-15, the Red Raiders.
4:41 to go in this first half of play. And the Raiders taking advantage of another Quabbin turnover, have not been tracking that. Can't be a pretty number right now.
Okay, now we have Olivia Smith, whose name I forgot, and she loses the ball.
As it happens sometimes. Quabbin's forced some turnovers of their own, as battling everybody underneath, trying to get that shot up over everybody was Quabbin and Casey McCready. Not able to get that to go. Allen underneath in the paint. That won't go. That's traveling. The officials having called a lot of travels tonight. They've got their eyes on that one. Mentioned 3 officiating crew for tonight. That one nearly stolen away by Cabins. Normally I'm used to 3 officials for the postseason.
I wonder why they're doing it today. Were you ever given an explanation as to why they ramped up the number of officials?
I only found out they were rolling 3 officials when we were ready for tip-off.
I guess they're mysteriously rolling 3 officials.
But why not?
Also, as you may have heard at the beginning, we have had a former Red Raider has passed away, and I wonder if that is affecting it.
No, the Red Raiders playing in honor of Paula Gachal-Gaston-Gay, Fitchburg High Hall of Famer. Passed in the last few days. The Raiders family playing with heavy hearts tonight. And we saw Tenila Council changing her number for the night, wearing 4 instead of number 24 as Quabbin now retakes the lead, get 3 points on that trip. So 18-16, Raiders trying to answer back immediately.
Yep.
Battled for in the paint, couldn't get it to fall, foul drawn by Quabbin. That'll go against Cavins, but it's just the 3rd against the Red Raiders, so nothing but an inbound. Still a few fouls to give. Cavins had the last foul, excuse me. It's the 4th now. Negron called for that one, but still 2 fouls to give. Did you catch who got the last basket for Quabbin?
I did catch it. It was number 35, Ashley Layton, at the charity stripe.
Yep. But getting back her own rebound in the end, or?
I think it was getting back her own rebound in the end.
We'll put her up to 7 then. Just looking away at the worst time is what I was doing.
Yeah, a very, very bad time. Because she got 3 points. I think she hit 1 from the free throw line and 2 off of her rebound.
That works for me. So she's up to 7 on the night. Long 2 from the left wing, no good. Offensive rebound, no good either for the Red Raiders.
Hard-fought battle ends in a foul on number 10.
Actually, they've ruled a tie-up, I believe.
Ruled the tie-up?
Yep, they've called a jump ball, simultaneous possession, and the Red Raiders have the arrow, so they will retain the basketball with a fresh 30. Give and go there to Council, throws it high off the glass, a bit too high, couldn't get it to fall. And the ball will land in the arms of Casey McCready. Quabbin with the 2-point lead. Raiders sticking right with them. Thinking about the 3 was Hamill. Thinks better of it, runs the paint instead, draws contact, going right down Broadway. And it'll be free throws for the senior captain. That'll be the 2nd foul against Jen Allen. The Raiders have been doing well to hang with this Quabbin team. As I mentioned, I believe this Quabbin team probably the favorite to win this pod. They definitely got the pedigree. The first free throw for Hamill does not fall. She was 1 of 2 at the stripe her first time there. 2 of 2 there is what I said 2 of 2, right? Or did I say 1 of 2? It's 2 of 2.
Yeah, you said 2 of 2.
Okay. Look at me second guessing myself. 2nd free throw. Hits the back iron, won't go either. But the tie-up works in Quabbin's favor as they'll get to keep the basketball. Could hear the Quabbin coaching staff praising Casey McCready there, battling for the basketball there and winning it. So Quabbin can very much get points on this trip down court. With under 3 to go in the first half, leading 18-16. Floater there doesn't go. Hamill tried to save her from going out of bounds, but before she could get the ball back in play, her feet touching the letters that say Fitchburg. And if you're touching those letters with your feet as you're touching the basketball, you're out of bounds.
Just that simple.
Red Raiders will have it. Annika Hecker, left side of the paint, trying to create space. The pass off. The Raiders try to throw it off a Panther and out. Unfortunately, it goes off a Raider and out. That Raider took a bit of a hit there. Zilka Negron comes back on her feet, and she'll make her way to the bench. She'll go behind the curtain on the left side. I think get some medical attention there. Make sure she's all right.
Is that a COVID rule that you need to go behind the curtain for medical attention?
I think they're just setting up the medical stuff back there is what they're doing. Is fighting her way down the court. And putting that up and in is Olivia Smith to tie the game. Now that quick stretch pass. A catch and shot by Quabbin doesn't go. A second chance from Gillen, rejected by the backboard. 2 minutes to go in this first half. Level at 18. Top of the arc, 3 ball is good.
Nothing but net there for number 2, Abby Stone.
Big time to make her presence felt. Hitting the triple from the top of the arc, Abby Stone gets right on the scoreboard. gives the Raiders a 3-point lead. And Hecker comes away with the steal there, but then has it turned right over. She tried to hit that bounce pass, but Julia Hamill was waiting, and she makes her pay. 21-20 the score. We approach 75 seconds to go. That's knocked out of bounds by Rose reaching in there, getting all basketball. Couple substitutions as Brito will come out, and Negron has been sufficiently checked out. Or maybe I'm misreading the number there. Oh, I've gone and done that again. So Olivia Smith comes back in.
Yes, yes. I made the mistake a little bit earlier.
Yep. See, it can happen to you, it can happen to me. There's a push called against Quabbin. That's foul number 10, so it's going to be 2 free throws. That'll be the first foul against McCready in the contest. But Annika Hecker will have 2 free throws. Gets to shoot this first one all by herself. That's one of those COVID changes. There's no opportunity for a rebound. So no reason to have anybody crowding the line. And that first free throw with the spotlight on her does not fall. Hecker will have one more chance to make it a 2-point lead for the Red Raiders. Here's that second attempt.
And it does not fall.
This is the same way as the first.
Quabbin gets the rebound and is going up the court.
Foul's going to be called against the Red Raiders. That was their last foul to give. Smith's going to be called for that one. That'll be her first. Jen Allen, the only Raider with more than 1 foul. Olivia Rose, Lauren Olson, Ashley Layton, and Jordan Gillen all have 2 for Quabbin. They trail by 1, under a minute to go in the first half. Hamill holding to the right wing. The bounce pass into the corner for Layton. Back for Hamill, throws left side. Rose has got space and time to shoot. The jumper doesn't go. Second chance, gets the backboard. But a little bit of the hands of Annika Hecker got in on the arms. And the foul will be called. First against Hecker, and free throws to be paid for the Panthers. They can earn the lead here at the stripe. First free throw. That was a dramatic arc. High in the air, bounced on the front rim before making its way in.
Now Quabbin has a chance to gain the lead of this game.
Second free throw.
And it falls. Quabbin's now in the lead, 22-21 with 40 seconds left in the quarter.
First 2 points on the night for Casey McCready. Now the shot from the right side of the baseline is good for Olivia Smith. Gets her up to 7 on the night. And Fitchburg retakes the lead, 23-22. 20 seconds to go in the frame. Jumper right side is good. Madison LaRue getting her first points of the contest. Back and forth we go. 7 seconds. A runner there, a short. Hecker underneath, got it!
It's just a battle with the buzzer at the end of the first half. And it is halftime.
So Annika Hecker gets the last 2 points. Quabbin knows that an 85-footer unlikely. They just decide to hold on to the basketball and take it into the half with the score 25 for the Red Raiders and 24 for the Panthers.
This is a really unusually tight game today. Quabbin and Fitchburg last season, Quabbin had a significantly better record of 15-6 with the Raiders 7-13. And also we mentioned earlier that Quabbin did go to the regionals, actually to the postseason.
The only team in the pod to do so. So we've been expecting a lot out of this Quabbin team, and through the first half, they've played some pretty solid basketball, but they've had a lot of trouble making things work inside the paint for them.
Yes, they definitely have. They have quite a few. They have quite a few 3 points, but it definitely slowed down for Quabbin after the first quarter was over, and Fitchburg has still yet to score a three-pointer.
Well, actually, nope, just the one from Abby Stone.
Just the one from Abby Stone.
That'll happen sometimes as well, is you say a stat, and just as soon as you say it, you realize it's wrong.
Yes, I know. It's quite complicated. Quite shocking.
At the end of the day, you are still in training, so don't you worry too much about it. We all make mistakes. We've got plenty of time to iron those kinks out. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have the second half here from the Crutchfield Fieldhouse. It's Red Raider basketball on FATV. Back here at the Crutchfield Fieldhouse, here at Fitchburg High School, 25-24, the Red Raiders in front of the Quabbin Panthers as we get ready to start this second half. Daniel Bolak, Frank Gallo here with you. Raiders have the arrow. They'll start with it here in this third quarter of play. They outscored Quabbin by a margin of 13-9 in that second frame. And we'll see what the Red Raiders can do with it on their first possession. As Council runs down the middle of the paint. Can't get that one to fall, but a fresh 30 coming on the offensive rebound there from Mia Cavins. Thrown inside, rejected by the Quabbin Panthers. In contact and transition. Not a bad foul to take there, considering Quabbin was going to make their way down court otherwise. Be the second foul against Natasha Brito. Give and go on the inbound to Jordan Gillen. Leads the Panthers with 9 points, all coming by way of 3. That pass inside. 3 Raiders' hands coming in to take that one away. Cavins will come up with the steal. Tenila Council wearing number 4 tonight, changing up from 24. The Raiders family losing Paula Goodchild-Gastonguay a few days ago. She wore number 24 during her Hall of Fame career for the Red Raiders. So for tonight, 24 will hang on the bench as Council will wear number 4 instead. And the Raiders playing in her honor tonight and staying right in it with a quote-unquote Western Mass foe. First free throw will not fall for Allen. One more coming for the sophomore wearing 25. She's got 4 points in the contest. And her second free throw doesn't catch anything at all. Now go right back to Quabbin. Ball misses the rim. You can't go for the rebound. So Quabbin, very bad pass there over the hands of Gillen, and then stolen straight away by Rose. She can't get her runner to go. Missed opportunities there. As we're still in search of the first points of this third quarter. Brito, top of the arc, 3 ball, good! The triple falls for Olivia Smith. She's got 10. That's the biggest lead the Red Raiders have had tonight, 28-24.
And I do still need to notify you that you said Brito instead of Smith just before. It kind of happens.
It does. Smith had that one. That's thrown up and in. Counted and one. The first and one of the night will go to Quabbin. Big make for the Panthers.
Quabbin has a chance and is putting McCready up to the charity stripe to try and tie it up with the Red Raiders, or at least thin up the lead.
It's just one free throw to be paid. Chance to get 3 the old-fashioned way for the senior captain. She gets that one. 3 of 3 at the charity stripe tonight is Casey McCready. 28-27 the score. Raiders get 3 the modern way on one end of the court, and 3 on the other end, the old-fashioned way for Quabbin. Rio to the near side for Council. Now Smith throws it up from the left elbow, can't get it to fall. Rebound into the hands of Jordan Gillen. Had a quiet second quarter after hitting 3 triples in the first. She'll try to get back in on that, but her 3 a bit off line. Council with the board. On the left side, Brito, jumper is good from deep on the left baseline. Her first field goal of the night, and it's stolen away by Fitchburg. Blinken, you'll miss it. And count it and one for the Red Raiders.
The second and one of the night in like less than a minute right there.
Big there for the Raiders. And a timeout on the court with 5:27 to go in the third quarter. The Raiders will have a free throw to be paid to try to stretch out their largest lead of the night at 32-27. Try to do a quick scoring summary. Olivia Smith now leads all players in scoring with 10 points for the Red Raiders. The junior with 7 first half points. Got that triple early on there to open up the scoring in the third quarter. Brito with 4 quick ones. Now she's on 7. Abby Stone's got 3. Tenila Council on 4. Jen Allen on 4. Mia Cavan's on 2. And Annika Hecker on 2 as well for the Red Raiders. And for Quabbin, 9 for Jordan Gillen, 7 for Ashley Layden, 4 for Julia Hamill, 2 for Madison LaRue. And the 3 points in this third quarter coming by way of an old-fashioned 3-point play for Casey McCready to get her tally up to 5. And that's your scoring recap here. It's a good way to kill a timeout there. So it'll be Brito at the charity stripe on the and one. Throws that up, doesn't get it to go. And it'll be wrestled in there by Lauren Olson. So 32-27. As Quabbin looking for a field goal there. The jumper doesn't go. Throw it up from the left side. Just a lot of pressure inside. Paul DiGeronimo's crew doing very well to guard the paint and then some. Hecker inside, drew the contact. 2 free throws to be paid.
Hecker's at the charity stripe trying to widen that lead of the Red Raiders of 32-27.
First free throw for Hecker is going to be front rimmed there. I look at my free throw stats here. I see a few numbers, but I see far more misses. And unfortunately, the Red Raiders at the charity stripe tonight, 4 for 14. Some free throw practice, I believe, is going to be in order at the next practice. Hecker does make the second one, though, and stretches it out to a full 2-possession lead, 33-27. But my goodness, Quabbin can't get across the midline without the pressure there. The scoop shot won't fall from deep inside, just didn't have the angle there. Quabbin just trying to answer back immediately. That's not going to help matters. Offensive foul called against Julia Hamill. Might just have been a case of trying to do too much too quickly for Quabbin. They just dodged a arrow with the turnover, the scoop shot not falling, so they try to score quickly in transition, but the charge called. So that line drive shot will fall for Ilka Negron. First points of the night for her. And the Raiders dominating in this third quarter. 35-27 they lead, and oh, that's just gonna make things worse. The pass goes behind Hamill, and that's gotta be one of the more demoralizing things in basketball, to see that ball go over the midline from the other half, because on a pass that hasn't been deflected, because you know once you touch it, you're gonna turn the ball over, but you can't just let the other team have it, so there you go.
So you end up kind of getting stuck with between a rock and a hard place. I guess we all know how that feels.
3 ball from Cavan's, well long. Rebound pulled in by Olivia Rose. Take her time to corral it, so they'll bring it over the midline. From inside the free throw line, That one a bit too strong. If taken from the free throw line, probably would have fallen. Council, Hecker had trouble handling the pass. Now Brito out to the right side, 3-ball long from Council. He's taking that from NBA range essentially, and actually had a little too much on it. Quabbin will get it after all of that. LaRue will inbound. You can see the Raiders not content to just let Quabbin easily inbound it and then try to set up defensively. Instead, they are forcing Quabbin to work, and they're not liking it right now. This Fitchburg team far better than the Gardner side that they vanquished last week by 47 points as traveling called against the Red Raiders. 3:12 to go in the third quarter. 35 for Fitchburg, 27 for Quabbin. The visitors from Barry with just the 3-point play earlier in the third quarter to show for their scoring. The Red Raiders with 10 in this frame. Quabbin will bring it up for Rose on the left side. Oopsie. That's another travel. Megan Doyle will come back in, one of 2 freshmen on this Quabbin squad. Riley Bassett the other one. We've seen a bit of her tonight. For my count, 9 players have come in for Quabbin in this contest. That goes to the left side. Jumper hits the side of the backboard from Negron. That pass out of the reach of Layden, and it'll go out of bounds in favor of the Red Raiders. And that was just another example of Quabbin trying to do too much there. I just get the impression that Quabbin just wants to get down court quickly, set up quickly, try to cut back into this deficit as quickly as possible, and they're just forcing passes and other maneuvers that just aren't working for them.
Maybe it's just a degree of overconfidence. As we said, they had really good standings last season. They might be, I mean, honestly, a little bit overconfident, a little bit too heady right now, and are doing things that they're getting themselves into and not being able to get out and moving too fast.
This Raider defense has been absolutely hassling them. And even in that moment there, sure, they were set up to take the shot there from that left elbow from Casey McCready, but when it didn't fall, there were 3 Raiders waiting for the rebound down low.
They're everywhere. They're a brick wall, stopping the Quabbin guys from getting in there.
It's Negron with the finish on that one, I do believe. Now 37-27. This is the largest lead either side has had tonight, and that's just another error for Quabbin. That pass with too much oomph thrown there. Couldn't be pulled in by McCready, and Evan Behringer will call time with 1:50 to go in the third quarter, and his side trailing by 10. 37 for the Red Raiders, 27 for the Panthers.
Red Raiders have really made a comeback in the second half right here. Largely, I'd imagine, because Quabbin's been moving too fast. The Raiders have been getting the rebounds, they've been getting up court, and they've been scoring.
And Coach Behringer talking with his team, very demonstrative with his actions. Cannot at all be pleased with how this third quarter has developed. Just 3 points for Quabbin. They've not scored in several minutes. For Behringer, his first season in his second stint as head coach of the Panthers, the history teacher from Quabbin Middle School, was previously head coach of the girls basketball team in the mid-2000s for about 3 or 4 seasons. Also was a coach of the boys golf team a little more recently. Now getting back to coaching for the Panthers, the previous head coach got a new opportunity in Nashville. I wish I could remember his name off the top of my head. It's another one of those recaps from the Gardner News, those preseason previews that they put together. They do a very good job out there. So much information I've been able to use on these broadcasts.
I mean, yeah, you got to look at the news papers. They love talking about their high school sports. I remember I always read the Sentinel and Enterprise, and they're like always talking about the Fitchburg girls basketball team has won the last game against Quabbin, or the Crocker Field is getting remodeled or something like that. Always in the news, always in the news.
I had the opportunity to call some soccer games from Crocker Field this year. That was the first games I ever worked from Crocker Field on a broadcast. It was interesting that it was boys and girls soccer, but it was a great opportunity to finally get to work in historic Crocker Field as Madison LaRue gets the 2 there. Just to cut in a little bit, now the deficit holding at 8 points for Quabbin, 37-29. I imagine it must have been enjoyable getting to play on the field at historic Crocker Field this year.
Absolutely enjoyable. It was kind of a once-in-a-lifetime experience. One of the positive things that has come out of the pandemic, a JV soccer player, got to play on the historic and wonderful Crocker Field. They keep the field meticulous out there. It's a wonderful experience.
Indeed, and I had the pleasure of being able to call some of those varsity games there from Crocker Field. Great experience to see the boys and girls soccer teams getting to play there. The grass has taken a beating over the years, but they try to keep it as pristine as they can.
Also, yes, one interesting thing about this fall is there was actually a limited number of fans in the stands. The parents could come. They had a restricted seating at 50% capacity. I think even lower than that. I think there was only 50 people that could come.
Yeah, it was 50 was, I believe, the limit there, as Mia Cavins hits the 2 there, gets her up to 4 on the night, and a Red Raider steal. They've restored the double-digit lead. How much more damage can they do on this trip down court? That one just goes in and out. Unlucky for Olivia Smith. And there's another pass that was definitely forced there. Too much oomph on that one. Don't be throwing fastballs for your centers down low.
This isn't baseball, this is basketball.
51 seconds to go, third quarter, 39-29. Red Raiders in front. An excellent third quarter they have played. But yeah, 50 fans, I believe, was the capacity thing. We'll talk a little bit about that at the end of the quarter. As Council drawing the contact, she'll get that one.
I think this is the widest lead that the Raiders or the Quabbin has had all game at 12 points with 36 seconds left on the clock in the quarter.
Indeed it is. A dozen-point lead there. Tenila Council drawing the contact, making the basket. And trying to get up to lucky number 7 with this free throw. That's not gonna fall. But she gets the offensive rebound. How about 8? No. Well, one to get the offensive board though, but the free throw struggles will continue for the Red Raiders. 5-second difference between game and shot clock. That's not gonna come into play. It's a desperately rushed shot there by Quabbin. That won't go. Now the Raiders taking their time. Gonna try a 3 there. A bit too strong though out of the hands of Olivia Smith. Quabbin will try one more. And Julia Hamill able to split the 2 defenders, drew the contact. I could hear the Raider bench yelling no foul. Just let her have the 2 if it comes to it. Unfortunately, didn't get the memo quickly enough. Julia Hamill gets the 2 with a chance to earn a 3rd.
And Olsen is back in the game.
For the Panthers. She's looking to open her point scoring account on the night. One free throw for Hamill, rattles out, but underneath before the buzzer. The putback there by Casey McCready. It's a 4-point play for Quabbin, and that could very well be the momentum shift they need
to win this game.
Very much to get themselves back in it at the very least. Just like that, on that trip, the deficit cut from 12 to 8 for Quabbin as we reach three-quarter time. The score, Fitchburg 41 and Quabbin 33. 9 points for Quabbin in that third quarter again. 16, though, for the Red Raiders. Their best quarter by far. Now, leading by that 8-point margin. I guess just to talk a little more about the fans, as we all know, in Central Mass this year, all these games currently being held at 0 capacity, no fans allowed in the buildings at all. This is the case for all the Central Mass schools except for St. John's, who used to be a Central Mass school but are now an Eastern Mass school for the purposes of regional play. So they're not subject to that restriction, and they're actually letting a few fans into their buildings.
I'd assume just the parents of the players and very few others. Of course, if you want to watch these games, you are already watching them, and on FATV online or on the television.
Comcast Channel 9, Verizon Channel 36, and at the education stream on fatv.org, and also available on demand wherever you've been watching us. We thank you for tuning in, whether you're from Fitchburg, you're from Barrie, or anywhere else, checking out the coverage. And that's something that's been so interesting to see this year too, is just seeing what all the other schools are doing in regards to broadcasting. I myself, a Fitchburg State graduate, class of 2016, I was one of the student broadcasters there for the Falcon Sports Network. And I was always curious to see what other Division III colleges were doing in regards to their broadcasts. And so now getting to go around and looking at what all the other schools are doing broadcast-wise. And here at FATV, we're doing the best we can to try to bring you the best product we can. We know that you folks at home can't come to the games right now, so all we can do is do the best we can to bring those games to you.
Yeah, I have heard some great things about the other schools too, because remember, we also have the Fitchburg High School team is also playing away games all across the state, and you can tune into those on the respective cities' access television networks as well.
And from the school streaming as well, I imagine the boys basketball teams playing as we speak on Quabbin's YouTube, I believe, as that's juggled out of bounds by Julia Hamill. First possession for Quabbin, not going to plan. So we bring you every home game for boys and girls basketball. We'll be bringing you every ice hockey game for the Fitchburg Bonnie Tech Red Raiders. We just brought you one this morning between the Red Raiders and Oakmont that the Red Raiders won 3-1. One of the best games of the year, if I do say so myself.
I saw the Instagram post this morning, and I honestly thought it was this game. I thought it was the basketball game, not the hockey game. I panicked a little bit. I was totally not ready for it.
Yep, an 11 a.m. start, trying to sleep in on Martin Luther King Day. Would have been rather abrupt if you thought you had to deal with all of that. Foul called against the Red Raiders. That's the third against Cabins. There'll be 2 free throws for the Panthers. They trail by 8. Down, but absolutely not out of it. Front rim, the first one though. Looks like McCready at the line there. One more free throw to be paid. Try to cut the deficit to 7. Will not be able to do that. And the rebound corralled by the Red Raiders. Quickly in transition, Allen underneath gets the 2. It's back to a double-digit lead, 43-33, with 7 minutes to go in the game. Inside Hamill will try a 3 from the right corner. Puts it over the rim. As mentioned, this Quabbin team, 3-ball shooting not quite their thing, and although they had the 3 triples from Jordan Gillen in the first quarter, 3-ball shooting's gone silent since.
Unlike Fitchburg High School, number 11 Olivia Smith just scored a 3-pointer.
Puts it at 13 on the night, now 46-33. On the other end, McCready trying to go in transition, won't get that to fall, but gets the 2 free throws. It's a second foul against Negron. McCready 3 of 5 at the charity stripe tonight. First free throw is good. Get her up to 8 points on the night. And one more coming for Quabbin. Interesting trajectory on that one. Bounces left side of the rim, rides the top of the backboard, and then falls in the hands of the Red Raiders. As from coast to coast, Tenila Council with the 2 to make it 48-34. That's definitely the largest lead of the night for either side. Timeout called by the Panthers. One thing I've been impressed about watching Quabbin in these pods, we don't normally get the opportunity to see Quabbin. In fact, these two teams in girls basketball, they've not met in any of the last 3 seasons.
Yes.
But Quabbin and Fitchburg, 2 teams that don't normally play each other.
Yeah, that's absolutely a beautiful thing about these new pods. Honestly, it's both a blessing and a curse in many ways. It is a blessing as we get to see these new teams. You get to explore the world, which is, I guess, one of the main reasons why a lot of people do sports in addition to a love of the game. But it's also, again, a curse. It's a little annoying. You don't get to see teams you might otherwise see. For instance, we wouldn't, I don't think we're in the same division as the Worcester teams, which we would normally have seen last year.
Yep, and in fact, none of the Worcester schools playing winter sports.
None of the Worcester schools playing winter sports, so we're not being able to see them. It's a blessing and a curse with all these new COVID restrictions.
We get to see a couple different teams, like a Narragansett, like a Quabbin. I've seen Quabbin seems to excel at just about every sport. And they're not pulling from a huge population base. They serve 5 small communities in Western Mass: Barrie, Hardwick, Hubbardston, New Braintree, and Oakham. The combined population less than 20,000.
Which, yes, this is in comparison. The Fitchburg has around 45,000 people as of the 2010 census.
Jump ball called there, and Fitchburg will have it on the arrow. But yeah, a lot smaller student population to pull from for Quabbin, but they can still excel in sports nonetheless. And I've been impressed by the way they've carried their athletic program in all the sports that we've seen.
Yep.
So 6 minutes to go in this game, 48-34, Red Raiders in front. On the far side, double teamed, gets the ball off. Allen tries to throw it up, not getting that to go. Hecker getting her hands on the basketball, but so was Riley Bassett. And the tie-up will favor the Panthers on the arrow. Stretch pass intercepted. There's a runner that won't go. Bassett has it back in her hands. Now trying to press hard there. Stolen away by Council. Just floated that pass up there. Didn't think Council was going to go reach in with the hands and pull that away, but oh look, she's gone and done just that. Allen in the paint, Hacker, down low, gets the 2. And just like that, Quabbin turns it right back over.
You can see that Coach DiGeronimo is absolutely thrilled with that.
Coach DiGeronimo loves praising his team's defense, loves running a strong defensive core. They held, I mean, to think, 44 points they conceded against Oakmont last Monday. They go up to Oakmont's building and hold them to just 19 points.
Unbelievable there. It's just a testament to the coaching of the Fitchburg girls basketball team. They all seem very passionate about it. And you can see from Coach DiGeronimo's reaction that he is absolutely invested in this sport and absolutely invested in this team so that they can absolutely dominate the season. And they are winning this game by 16 points at this timeout.
By far the largest lead we've seen, not just in this game, but even going back to that Oakmont game. We didn't see a lead last week bigger than this number that we've seen right now in 16 points, 50-34. And Quabbin played well in the first quarter. They played well in the early going, but since then, they've just had so much trouble cracking this Red Raider defense. It's not just a matter of getting shots off, it's a matter of even getting in position to get shots off.
Absolutely, but the greater question is, they just brought a timeout right there. I saw the coach, he was giving a pep talk. He was giving a pep talk to Quabbin, and I wonder if they can come back right now. There's still 5 minutes left in the game. It's not unrealistic.
It's a 16-point deficit It's a 9-1 fourth quarter right now in favor of the Red Raiders. And Olivia Smith will have the inbound. Tenila Council now for Smith, floats it up for Hecker. Now back to Council, leaves it off. Three ball is well offline. Rebound pulled in by the Panthers. And they'll make their way across. Hamill underneath has to get around two Red Raiders, climbs the ladder and puts it in. 8 points for the senior co-captain in Julia Hamill. 50-36 the score. Hecker now left side. There's some space there for Brito to shoot, and she'll hit. There's that Negron. In any case, 52-36 the score. Long two will not fall for Quabbin, and Smith will come down with it. Raiders taking their time getting across the midline. It was Negron who had the last basket there, gets her up to 6 on the night. Out to the near side, Smith. Tried to feed Negron up top, intercepted there. Megan Doyle trying to take it all the way. Lots of pressure though. There's never an easy layup at this level, especially when you've got two Red Raiders breathing down your neck. Allen underneath, too strong, rushed the shot there. Coach DiGeronimo jumps up in frustration. Hamill on the other end, draws contact. 2 more free throws for the senior. Last foul to give for the Red Raiders, second foul against Olivia Smith. And 2 free throws for Hamill on 8. First free throw. Takes a few dramatic bounces before it falls. Puts her up to 9. No Panther in double digits right now, and Hamill could be the first to get there. McCready on 8, Hamill on 9. Gillen has been sitting on 9 since the first quarter. Second free throw for Hamill. Front iron. But an offensive rebound, feeds it off for Layden, who throws it up, does not get that to go. Ball's on the ground, that'll be a tie-up. Red Raider basketball with a 15-point lead. And 211 ticks of the clock left. That pass through a lot of hands, found its recipient, and the pass off for Allen underneath. Gets the 2 there, she's up to 8. Now Quabbin on the right side from the corner. Bounce pass deep inside, will be more free throws. That was the center there, and Ashley Layden drawing the contact on that pass from LaRue from the corner. Well threaded to get there.
Layton does score.
They'll get her to 8 points on the night. 4 or 5 at the charity stripe tonight.
Definitely thins up the lead between the Raiders and the Panthers.
1 more free throw will go as well. No dramatics from Layden. She led the team in free throws last season for a reason. She made 63 in all. Knocked out of bounds by Quabbin. It's one of those COVID things, the official signaling inbound over here, just using those learned motions over the years, the body language and everything from tradition, but all the inbounds have to come on this sideline, not the one over there. There's that brief moment, that aha moment where you realize, oh yeah, that's not what we need to do here.
Yep. Refereeing is all muscle memory. You need to have really quick decision making.
Now Cavins with the last pass, can't get the fall. The second chance bounces unkindly for the Raiders off the iron. And double teaming for the basketball down low on the baseline. The foul is going to go against the Red Raiders. That'll be foul number 3 against Olivia Smith. And the loose ball foul means we've got to bring the basketball all the way down to the other end. Our camera operators, Matt Murdocka and Nate Glennie, that's just a simple swing of the camera. But for the players on the court, that's an 80-foot walk.
Given the fact that they're all in pretty good physical condition, I don't think that's so. And Hamill hits it.
First free throw good for her, and she will be the first Panther into double figures tonight. Gets her to 10. 4 of 7 at the line tonight.
Does not hit the second one.
Make it 4 of 8. But stolen away. Nearly put in there, and now wrestling for the basketball. Tie-up will favor the Panthers. The Quabbin fans at home will yell on the 4 of 7, you just jinxed her. I'm working for Fitchburg Access Television. I don't think I really care.
All we care about is really watching the games and then televising them right into your living rooms.
Trying to do the best we can. But announcers' curses, jinxes, I don't really care about those, as there's the foul against Quabbin that's going to lead to a 1-and-1 for the Red Raiders. Foul number 3 against Hamill. 54-40 with 2:19 to go. Council at the charity stripe. Front end of the 1-and-1 is good. First free throw made on the night for Tenila. And one more to be paid. She'll try to get into double figures with this one. She will. 10 points on the night for the sophomore Tenila Council. 56-40, the Red Raiders in front with 2:15 to go. 3 ball from the left wing turns into a long pass, but Layden can't put it up from the right side of the baseline. Now Council will carry it. Brings across the midline for Cavins. Double teamed for a moment. That pass knocked away, and Cavins wrestled the ball and tried to save it from going out. And the foul called as the contact there from Olivia Rose knocked her out of bounds.
Again with Council Tenila, this is her second game in a row averaging a higher score than she averaged last year. She's definitely improved in the offseason this year. She averaged a 6.4 last year, and last game she scored 20 points. In this game, she scored 10. So a real bump in her scoring from last year this year.
Yep, in the 2 consecutive home games. She also had the 6 against Oakmont on Thursday.
In the 2 consecutive home games, I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. You didn't have a chance to really read over the stats beforehand, so.
Nope.
But that's all right. Like I said, we had you on camera for the first quarter, so. Nonetheless, 56-40 the score. Raiders' next contest will be on Thursday, as they will be taking on Quabbin again, of course, because that's how these 2-game home-and-home series work.
Yeah.
We'll have the boys here, JV at 4, Varsity at 6.
I do not think that there will be commentating for that game, though.
There most likely will not be commentary for that game, because unfortunately I have what is called a day job. And I can only move my schedule around so much to make, well, actually every game that I've done thus far has just fallen on a time that I'm not working.
How convenient.
But Thursdays did not conveniently fall in my favor. That eye slipped out there.
Cavins hits it. What does that bring her to?
That'll get her to 5. That was her first free throw attempt of the night, too. One more free throw coming here, but that won't rattle home. The lone senior on this roster, Mia Cavins, contributing to the scoring, making it a 17-point game, 57-40. Megan Doyle on the near side for Hannah Dowd. Some new faces there. There's Georgie LaViolet. But she lost a handle on it and a whistle.
Many 28 seconds in this game. I doubt that Quabbin will win this, but it's not impossible. I bet they're definitely going to try and thin their deficit, though.
Try the best they can there. Getting a couple of players we haven't seen out there. As I mentioned, Georgia LaViolet and Hannah Dowd, both junior guards. Didn't see them a whole lot earlier on in the contest. Raiders will get the inbound here. See some fresher faces here for the Raiders. This beautiful Sanchez, the pass on, knocked away by the Spartans. I was gonna say that wrong once today.
Not yet, it was not the Spartans, it's the Panthers.
But I did the Spartans earlier today, that's the problem. I knew that was gonna happen eventually. At least it took until the 47th minute of basketball before.
We're almost done.
If I'm going to make that mistake, I'm going to make it late in the contest with a double-digit lead. As Stone unable to get anything to go on that, Quabbin will pick up. And they'll bring it across with 45 seconds left. Three ball right side is gonna fall for Hannah Dowd. Try to give the Quabbin side something to smile about in the last minute of this contest. In a game which the Panthers felt they could have done so much better. That's an over-the-back called against. Looks like Lauren Olson committed that one.
Stone is up at the charity stripe.
So third foul indeed against Lauren Olson. And 6 juniors on this roster for Quabbin, just 2 seniors in McCready and Hamill. And Stone, a sophomore. Front rim the first one. Ball fortuitously bounces its way back into her hands. And they're double teaming Stone, just trying to force a turnover. I think the Red Raiders would have been content just to dribble it out, but Quabbin wanted to turn it over, force the turnover, get one more shot off. Try to cut the deficit, mishandled by Olivia Uri.
And they can't quite make it.
So that'll do it. The Red Raiders come away with a rather convincing victory, 57-45.
I'm honestly a little bit surprised by that. Quabbin was doing really well last season and the season before, but the Red Raiders came up and they kicked butt. With the 57-45 lead, a very substantial lead, really coming out in the second quarter with very hard work there. Quabbin kind of slipping on their defense. The Red Raider defense was very, very good this season, Dan.
Yes, I've really enjoyed how Fitchburg played today. They forced so many turnovers from the Panthers. Going over the quarter scoring summary, 12 in the first for the Red Raiders, 13 in the second, 16 in the third, 16 more in the fourth. Got better as they went along, 25 and 32 in the first and second half for 57 in total. For Quabbin, started with 15 in the first, but 9 in the second, just 9 more in the third, and a lot of those coming late in the frame too. It was the first half of the third quarter, absolutely dominant for the Red Raiders, absolutely the turning point in the contest.
Yes, absolutely. In addition to that, of course, the most important thing is that this was an absolutely thrilling game to watch. It was fascinating.
And so going over the scoring again, 9 in the second and third for Quabbin, 12 in the fourth. Compare that with the 1 from 15 and then 1-15 from the first. Then 24 points in the first half, but just 21 in the second. The Red Raiders outscoring the Panthers 32-21 in the second half of play, leading to that 57-45 final. A great performance by the Red Raiders. Going over the final scoring numbers, looks like Olivia Smith ended up being the scoring leader in this contest with 13 points. Tenila Council adding 10 in for the Raiders as well. 3 for Abby Stone, 6 for Ilka Negron, 7 for Natasha Brito, and then 8 for Jen Allen, 5 for Mia Cavins, and 5 for Annika Hecker. Hopefully that adds up to 57. And for Quabbin, they were led by Julia Hamill with 10, Ashley Layden with 9, Jordan Gillen with 9 as well, Casey McCready with 8, Madison LaRue with 4, Hannah Dowd with 3, Megan Doyle with 2. Hopefully that adds up to 45. As you can tell, not really doing the running math there.
Yeah, and yes, I've just got news. Are we doing the JV game?
We are not doing JV, so it was just this varsity game today. But nonetheless, a great performance by the Red Raiders to go to 3-0 on the season with a very strong performance against this Quabbin side that won 15 games last year. And now the Panthers, they can use this as a wake-up call. They know that this Fitchburg team is significantly better than the Gardner team they vanquished last week. And in 3 days' time in Barrie, they'll be looking for revenge.
Yep.
And so, of course, as we mentioned, our next broadcast of Red Raider basketball will be on Thursday. It'll be the boys' turn to take to the hardwood of the Crutchfield Fieldhouse. 4 o'clock JV game, 6 o'clock varsity game with all the sights and sounds.
All the sights and sounds. We'll see you then. I think we are just about finished tonight. And
yeah, any final thoughts?
any final thoughts? This was just a fantastic game. I'm very, very proud of the FHS girls team. They're doing very, very well this season. And that's pretty much it.
In this abbreviated campaign, this Red Raider side, who finished strong in 2020, winning 6 of their last 10, they've won their first 3 games here in 2021. And what a great start to the season for them, and especially the early biggest win of the season. I mean, it's a bit early to say it, but this is one of the big ones there, to come away with a 12-point victory in which they dominated the second half against this Quabbin team.
Again, they're doing absolutely crazy this season, and we had a very good game here at the Crutchfield Fieldhouse. Strong defense upon the Red Raiders, and surprisingly few three-point shots.
Yeah, not a whole lot, just 3 for the Raiders, 4 for Quabbin. Wouldn't have expected at the beginning of the game Quabbin would have more triples than Fitchburg, but so it goes. But you just roll with what works, and in the end for the Red Raiders, suffocating defense and forcing points off of Quabbin mistakes, that's what did it for them. A proud victory the Red Raiders can hang their hats on as they go to 3-0. Quabbin falls to 1-1. So that's going to wrap it up. So for Matt Murdoka and Nate Glennie on camera, and you as well for the first quarter, and for Travis Falk back in the technical room doing all the magic there, and for everyone else here at FATV, again for Frank Gallo, I'm Daniel Wolak. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you next time. And until then, so long from Fitchburg.